अभी कितने पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं अमित?
It's live now. Okay. Uh, Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Amit from Product Department, and I will be taking you through a very important topic, that is margin trading facility, commonly known as MTF. That's what is shown on the screen. So in the next 30-40 minutes, we will understand the how MTF works, when it should be used, the risk involved, and how to use it smartly to grow your portfolio. So this is going to be very practical session, and we will explain you the product MTF, how you can use it and use the leverage. What is the power of this MTF? Okay, so first of all, the picture on the screen itself is divided into investment margin, and we get the trading power. So what is MTF? Margin trading facility. The full form of the MTF is margin trading facility. So in this service, the stockbroker allows investor to buy stock by paying only a part of total value upfront, while the broker funds the remaining amount and the investor later pays back this borrowed amount along with the applicable interest. So this is the simple explanation where the client will use his own investment, a part of investment, plus the broker will allow him, will give him and permit him to give the leverage, that is margin. He will give the fund extra as per the stock, and the total altogether will give a power to trade in MTF, wherein he can buy more quantity to get accordingly the profit and loss as per the market fluctuation. So this is a simple definition of MTF. We will move on, like what are the things we are going to cover. So in this webinar, we will be going through the concept, that is cash buying, then features of MTF, how margin is charged. So the most important thing, that is DDPI activations. So this is the initial stage. If any client wants to trade in MTF, DDPI is the first thing which need to be activated, and unless that, the client cannot start the MTF journey unless he activates the DDPI. So then we will be covering MTS dashboard, that is the UI UX, that is the look of the our app, our web platform, our app platform, where how we can use the services, what are the tabs, the look and feel of the application. And lastly, but not least, that is the app and web platform. So I will just give an example to understand how the MTF works. So comparison of cash order and MTF order. So I am going to explain you, when you buy a trade only on your investment versus when you will be using the MTF facility, what are the differences, how you are going to earn the profit or loss, and what is the leverage power you will be using in MTF. So this is a simple example wherein 1 lakh is the trading balance of client, plus the leverage is provided by the HDFC security, that is 3 lakhs. So now the buying power, what I was explaining in the previous slide, the power to trade by the client, he is getting 4 lakhs. So now let's assume, because as we can't recommend or we can't mention any stock or any numeric numbers, so we are assuming, just we are taking an assumption that when you have a bullish view on script ABC. So now in this, I've just taken an example, not mentioning any stock, it's ABC. So the market price is 100, expected target is 125. So now this is the conviction of the market, of that client, that expected target he wants is 125, assuming that 1 lakh is the investment which already he has in trading balance. Now let's see the impact on earning through a delivery and e margin. In delivery, you will have to pay 100% funding. So here you are going to invest all the money, whatever you have in your account balance, that only will be used as an investment amount. So now you get 1000 quantity of ABC. So now the calculations remains, that is 100 is the CMP and 1 lakh is the amount. So now client gets 1000 quantity of ABC. If he targets you getting 125 as a target price, obviously the amount goes to 1,25,000. Hence, it implies get a profit of 25,000 less other charges. So this is the simple calculation when a layman client is going to trade in a layman trading pattern, that is by his own funding. So here we are just assuming it would be a profit scenario where he will be earning 25,000. So same goes with when you invest amount in MTF. So the first example was directly he was funding his own investment. Now he is using the MTF. So in MTF, the benefit is that you need to pay 100%, only pay margin requirement. So here you no need to pay 100% amount. Here you will get the funding leverage by the broker, that is HDFC security will give you the leverage. He will be funding you additional to get more quantity according to the script. Now the funding is provided as per the script. There is nothing like a formula, fixed formula where you will get a fixed funding. So it depends on script to script. So any script, wherever it is necessary, they will provide you more than that also, or as per the SEBI guidelines, you will be generally getting 30%. So let's assume margin requirement of ABC is 30. Then we get 1 lakh amount. You can create a position. Now this position is up to 3 lakhs. Now here you can buy 300 quantity. Now the simple calculation is mentioned over here is 100 is the current market price, which is we are assuming. This is all assumption. So we are getting 3000 quantity. If target is achieved, you will get 3,75,000. So see the power of the MTF and the leverage what a client can get to get more profit if he uses the MTF. So if you will see the previous, if you will compare with the previous example, you are gaining more profit in MTF. Now, as it is assumption, even we are assuming 18% will be the interest. Now that also varies customer to customer as per his portfolio. So now we are assuming as 18%. So I'm giving you just an example. If he used the MTF for 2 months, 60 days, so the interest charge will be 8820. Okay, so now this is the 18% calculation part where the profit he has earned is 75,000 less interest, because already we have taken a funding, we have taken a borrowed money from HDFC broker. So we are deducting that amount. So here a client gets pure in profit of 66,180. So this is the power, or we can say this is the benefit of using the MTF, and you can get the profit gaining comparison. So now as I have shown you the profit example where client has earned in a profit gaining pattern. Now let's go that comparison of cash order and MTF order in the reverse situation. Likewise, as if profit is earned, same we can be facing with the loss situation also. So even I am explaining the loss example wherein how the calculation will be done. So let's assume you have a bullish view and market price is 100, expected is 125, but now as the conviction was the market was going to show the upward direction, but due to some situation price reached to 85. So now assuming 1 lakh is the investment, now let's see the impact of earning through delivery and e-margin. Okay, so same we are taking quantity as 100 quantity and target was 125. So 1,25,000, but market goes down. So here you make a loss of 15,000. So it can be vice versa. as I told, there is no authority that always and every time you will gain profit, but it depends that sometimes you have to bear the loss also. So this was a illustration. Now, when you invest in same in MTF, now this is an example where loss is the example, but through MTF itself. So let's assume margin is requirement of ABC is 30%. Now create a position of 3 lakhs. Now buying quantity is 3000 quantity through this 3 lakh amount. Now you are getting a funding amount and 100 is the current market price. Now again, market falls. Now this is the situation where client is trading in MTF. And before that, the previous slide where he was not using MTF. So assuming 18% as interest calculated, wherein the interest will remain same as 8,820. Now loss incurred was 45,000. That is 3,000 quantity with 15 rupees was the. So here total loss which he has to bear is 53,820. So I have explained you both the scenarios of MTF wherein you will, if price goes up, you will get a good profit, and vice versa. In case of loss also, I have explained you the same scenario with same example. So now just this was the simple calculation part, how the MTF works in with own investment as well as MTF. Now I will tell you the important mandatory thing. To start the MTF, there is a DDPI activation, which is very mandatory. Unless and until DDPI is not activated, you won't be able to participate in the MTF journey. So I'm showing you this how the look and feel and the UI UX of our app, where you will find these options. So I will just going to walk through with the screens. So this is the first screen in the app where you will find the MTF reflecting icon and also the DDPI. So this is the place where you need to first activate the DDPI, and then only you will be entering the field of MTF journey. So as soon as you activate, you will get a second screen where you need to be authorized. So this is just a I'm going through a walkthrough where you will getting the process how to activate the DDPI. So once you authorize and you click on the authorize button, then it goes to terms and condition where you have to proceed for the further journey. Once you click proceed, then you will find the next screen that is sign now. So this is just a process of activating the DDPI through Aadhaar. So this is the simple, we can say a KYC done through Aadhaar link where your authorization is taken through OTP and it is getting confirmed that you want to opt for DDPI. So once the OTP is received and you activate, the document is getting signed, and this is all seamlessly done through online process only. There is no manual intervention. So just a seamless process where your DDPI gets activated. So you will get a message of DDPI activation request received, and within 2 working days, the same facility is available on your app. So same goes with the some features of replacement order. These all things you will be finding on the app where you will get to enhance and you can use these features to use the MTF. So this was a small walkthrough and the definition of MTF, where what is the understanding of this product is being explained by me. So now we have Mr. Vinay Rajani from our research team who will be taking for further to get more clarity about the scenario, market view, and how the MTF calls works. So over to Vinay sir, please proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Amit. Is my screen visible, Amit?
Yes.
Okay, should I go ahead? Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Amit, and thank you everyone for joining this special webinar on the MTF. So Amit has thrown light on what is the MTF all about and what are the benefits of taking leverage in the cash segment so that we can intensify the profits in the rising markets, and when momentum in markets are in our support, it used to give higher possible returns in the positions and portfolio. So now let us see how Prime Research Department of HDFC Securities is providing MTF recommendations to the clients through various portals and how it works actually. So let us start that one. Yeah. So yeah. So these are the products which is being offered, which are being offered by the Prime Research of HDFC Securities. So basically, we have been giving recommendation in different segment. So one minute. Yeah. Yeah, so we have been coming out with short-term MTF ideas in the mid-cap categories, in which we have the universe of more than 1,000 stocks. So out of this 1,000 stocks, whenever we feel that technically momentum has emerged in any particular stock, we used to come out with the recommendation with the 4 to 7% target in the mid-cap category. So the time frame remains up to 10 days. And here we are trying to serve the short-term swing ideas and volatility in the market uncertainty. So basically, the number of calls that we are coming out with every in this particular segment is around 25 to 30. So 25 to 30 recommendation in the mid cap for the short term, which is having every recommendation having a 10 days time horizon. So this is what we are focusing, and whenever markets are not into a bullish phase positionally, we used to give more calls in the short term MTF side. So this is a mid cap category. We have a special category in the large cap also, where we come out with a short term ideas in the large cap category, which belongs to the NSE 200 universe. Here we are keeping a 15 days time frame, and the number of calls per month has been around 10 to 12 in this particular category, which is good enough. And we are targeting in every recommendation, we are targeting 3 to 5% return. So in 15 days in the large cap stocks, be it a Nifty stock or be it a NSE 200 stocks, we are targeting 3 to 5% return depending on the market situation. So 25 to 30 calls as a short term in the mid cap, and 10 to 12 calls as a short term in the large cap segment we have been giving. Another product that we have been offering is the positional MTF ideas. When market is in favor and overall trend of the market is good, momentum is there, we are targeting aggressive returns in recommendations. So in positional MTFs, we used to have all the HSL 11, more than 1100 stocks available in this particular universe. So we are keeping a time frame of 2 months there. And the number of calls per month in the positional side in the mid cap category is around 15. So almost 15 calls in the mid cap category we are giving positionally, and expected return remains between 8 to 15%. That's again depending on the market trend. So here we are targeting bigger returns as compared to the short term MTFs in the mid cap category. Same like short term, we also give recommendation the large cap category for the positional ideas. So here the same NSE 200 and derivative stocks we are covering as a universe, and separate category has been created where clients are getting large cap stock recommendations in the positional side. So here we keep 45 days time frame, and the number of calls per month remains around 7 to 10. So this is the number we are targeting. So 15 here in the mid cap and 7 to 10 here remains around in the large cap. So around 22 to 25 recommendations are being generated by our research team to cater this particular product. And the expected return in the large cap category, we used to keep it bit lower because they are not moving that in with that momentum, and conservative returns are being generated in the large cap. So we usually keep around 7 to 12% target in each recommendation in the large cap category of positional ideas. Now we have also come out with the ETF recommendation. So ETF previously was not a part of MTF, but in the recent past we have started giving ETF recommendations in the MTF category. So HSL is having a facility of MTF for more than 75 ETFs available in the exchange. And those who are having a conservative approach and want to utilize their bullish view in any particular sector in which the ETFs are available, then they have the option of buying the exchange traded fund through the use of MTF, which can intensify the expected return. So normally 4 to 5% return considered to be a very aggressive return in the ETFs. But when you buy with the help of MTF, you can intensify the returns by more than 10% also, as against the traditional approach of buying in cash. So MTFs in the ETF is a very popular product nowadays, and it is have been offering many ETFs under this MTF category. So we are targeting mostly the most 15 liquid index ETFs and sector ETFs in our HSL. And here we are keeping a time frame of up to 3 months. Previously, we were targeting only 12 recommendations positionally in the ETF, but now this is the old number. Now we have started targeting more number of calls in the ETFs because demand is coming in this uncertain environment. If somebody wants to remain conservative in their portfolio, then they are actually asking for more calls in the ETFs under MTF category. So we are planning to come out with at least 25 to 30 recommendation every year in this particular segment, where we can expect a return of 4 to 5% absolute and 7 to 8% average return can be expected in the with the leverage position, the ROI I'm talking about. So normal absolute return we are targeting around 4 to 5%, but with the help of MTF, it can be intensified. It can be increased to 7 to 8% also on an average. Now, since Amit has already explained the example how MTF works against the traditional approach of buying in cash, now I would like to show the open recommendations and which have been given by which was given previously by the research department. So as I said, we have a short-term MTF as a product in which we have 5 recommendation open from our side. One of them, a few of them are large cap, few of them are mid caps also. So you can see here M&M is a large cap, Indian Bank, Sona Comps, NBCC. These are the large caps. Rallis India is one of the mid cap stocks which we have open as a short-term MTF idea. So this is the buying range, current market price, lower band, stop loss and target. So here you are getting all the information, and this we also cover it in our daily research report. So the entire list of open calls in short term as well as positional, we used to share it in our daily research report, prime research report in the morning, every day morning. These are the open positional calls in the MTF side. These are the 8 number of calls which are open in the positional side, where we have a bigger conviction with the bigger targets. So large cap company like Kotak Bank, which we issued recently, day before yesterday. So Kotak Bank was issued by us on 28th November. Before that, we came out with the Sandur Manganese, one of the mid cap company. This PSU Bank B, as we had a bullish view in the PSU banks, we came out with a recommendation as a MTF in ETF segment. So this is nothing but the exchange traded fund which tracks the PSU banks, and this was the ETF which was recommended around 95. So this is one of the recommendation in the ETF category which is open. Tata Com, Central Bank, Motilal Oswal, these are the different recommendations which are open, and you can get this all information every day morning in our research report. Now, it is also important that we understand how markets are doing right now, because we all know that Nifty has recently hit an all-time high, but whether the market is supporting the MTF product right now, that is the most important aspect of the market. So let us see one observations. Here is the chart which shows the overall breadth of the market. Breadth means how other stocks are moving, the overall stocks and broader markets are performing. That is what this chart is indicating. So here we have taken the percentage of stocks about 20 DMA. Here the second, this line is showing the percentage of stocks above 50 DMA. This is percentage of stocks above 100 DMA, and this is the percentage of stocks above 200 DMA. So here we can see only 36% of the stocks in NSE 500 are trading above the 200 DMA, and here only 40% stocks are trading above 100. 43 stocks percent, 50 DMA, and 43% of the stocks in NSE 500 trading above 100 DMA, and 53% of the stocks are trading above 200 DMA. What does this indicate? This indicates that even if Nifty is at all-time high, majority of these stocks are not performing at all. If you see cash-based stocks the stocks which are part of Nifty, and because of the short covering by the FIs, they can move up. But here we can see altogether different picture, because any number below 50 in the NSE 500 indicates that very less stocks are performing in this particular market, and it is very challenging for traders to generate the momentum and alpha by just buying and keeping it for 2 days and getting 5%. So nowadays it is not that easy, and very choppiness has gone up, and most of the stocks are not performing. Only few stocks are actually supporting the index, and that is why Nifty has hit an all-time high, but without the participation of broader market. So this is what lacking in the current environment. And this in current environment, though we have an aggressive product line available for MTFs in entire universe of 1100 stocks, but this kind of situation, if it keeps on extending, then it will not be a favorable scenario for traders who are using MTF. So here we are strongly advising that one should remain very conservative as of now, because the things are not going fine, and returns that we have been generating in the MTF previously are not coming, and that is why the number of calls open from our side has been very low, because we don't find any conviction calls right now. So very few stocks are moving well, and we are expecting this to continue for some time. Definitely we are waiting for more momentum to come back, but yes, once it comes back, once we see the improvement in the readings of this broader market improvement, then definitely we will come out as aggressively, and we will issue more calls in the MTF category with the positional ideas, and that will ultimately increase the overall returns and success ratio of the product. So this is what the scenario is. Unfortunately, the momentum in the broader market is not at all there, and that is why it is better to remain conservative rather than aggressive in this market of scenario. This is what the situation is. The Indian equity market, a year of underperformance. So for the entire year of 2025, we have underperformed the emerging market. You can see that Indian stocks lag emerging markets by most in decades. So from 2000 to 2025, last 25 years, we have not seen this much of underperformance against the emerging market. This is, you can say, this is a negative return against the MSCI emerging market, and this is the negative return of MSCI India index against the MSCI emerging market, which shows the clear-cut underperformance. So once we see any some sort of profit booking in the US market or developed markets, it might happen that we will fall higher than them, and we will keep on underperforming at least for this particular year, because only 1 month is left in this particular year. But yes, the confidence is very less in the Indian equity market as of now. You can see by looking at this underperformance chart, and that is what happening. Yesterday we saw US market fell, and today Asian markets were also trading in red, and we fell by more than 150 points in Nifty. So that is what is happening. We are totally dependent on the global markets, and that is what the concern right now is. But hopefully the way right now market is placed, it is also important that we should hold the important support levels in the Nifty. So this is the Nifty daily chart. Now on 26th November, we saw that Nifty made a low at 25,840 odd level. So this is what the support is for the Nifty. Unless and until Nifty breaks this point, we have a hope that it will again resume its uptrend. There is an upward sloping trend line which is drawn with the help of the previous swing lows. The today's low was exactly around that. So 26,000 is a very crucial support for the short term, and the positional support is around 25,840, which happens to be the swing low mid on 26th November. So whatever trading long position is there in the Nifty should be held with the stop loss of 25,840. That's what we feel, and that's what also shared by our weekly technical reports. And this is the hope for the bulls, that overall broader trend remains bullish. So this is the stop loss 25,840, which should not be violated for the bulls to remain alive. That's what we feel going by the Nifty chart. And broader market is not positive, and that is the separate matter and additional negative factor that will remain there. So this is what the view for the market is, and it is also important that once we see higher momentum, we can come out more aggressively in the MTF category. So you will find more recommendations from Prime Research, HDFC Securities in the MTF category. Right now, our approach is very a bit conservative, looking at the conditions. So we are not coming out with those that much recommendations. So that is what I wanted to share. Now, Amit, if you want to share anything else, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Vinay. So rightly said, Vinay has given the overall market view, and actually we should use this opportunity of MTF, and we have covered almost the overall features of the MTF. So we'll definitely will continue this series of MTF Masterclass on weekly basis to upgrade the knowledge, and also would request everyone to participate in this product to get the experience, good experience, and definitely will answer if anybody has any query questions. So we'll get back to the same. I think we should conclude the call, and we'll definitely be in touch with the client accordingly if we need to answer for any queries.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Amit.
so
Thanks,
much.
Ravi.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Vinay.